And hello good people of the internet, it is I, Tommy Kelly, and this is Adventures in Woo Woo. And in this episode I want to talk about the notion of maybe not being too greedy with your magical desires. And by this, I do not mean some sort of moralistic, don't look for all the things you want because it's, it's more pure to do without, or that kind of puritanical kind of view that we sometimes have, particularly if you've come from certain different sects of Christianity growing up. You will have this guilt that's involved with well, I have anyway, with the kind of Catholic thing of that if you get something, you want, you're in some way a bad person or something. It's very kind of strange. I'm not talking about that. What I'm actually more talking about is the idea of that when you're coming up with a magical desire or wish or target, to not shoot immediately to the moon. And as Grant Morrison says in his wonderful Disinfo lecture, he talks about, like, we may all want to be king of the moon, but it's probably not a great sigil target, is the example he's giving in that. So it's funny when you come to magic, when people first come to magic, one of the very first things, if they're coming from a kind of a money background, if they want to come into magic because they have money problems, is the first thing to try to do is win the lottery. And not just kind of have a small lottery win, but the jackpot kind of lottery win. And I can understand that, but I mean, it would kind of, if you come to a niche or a group or a way of thinking or an approach where not everyone has won the lottery, I can't understand why you would suddenly think that you coming in are going to be the first person who's going to do it. But conversely, it also is that kind of question of, well, if magic works, why doesn't it work? Why can't I win the lottery? And indeed, someone has to win the lottery. But the chances of you winning the lottery are, astronomical, massive. And even if we see magic as probability enhancement, which I'm not sure because it's unfalsifiable, but if we do see it as probability enhancement, then doing magic for the lottery win does increase your chances of winning the lottery. It's just still astronomical that you will do so. So my kind of suggestion to you, and something I have found very, very helpful, is that rather than coming in, and if you have money issues, or whatever it is, but we'll take the example of money issues because it's something that's very, comes up for people a lot. Rather than going straight to the financial freedom, or this time next year we'll be millionaires, the whole Del Boy situation, or, winning the lottery. Do something that's better than where you are. Like, to chunk it down smaller, do smaller targets. And that's not the kind of that dismiss magic and its power. But we have to kind of think of that maybe we're not in a situation that it's that we're that powerful, or jump from here to there. It's too big to do in one go. And you can become then very, I suppose, disillusioned or a bit depressed around magic, or just, kind of lose interest in it if you try to do these massive chunks, these really big things, where let's do magic. I'm broke, I can't pay my rent, the electricity's about to go off, I've no food in the fridge. Let's do magic to win $1 million. When you should know, well, let's do magic to get some food in your fridge, or let's do magic to get the electricity back on and start from there. So that's what I mean by greed. And I suppose another example would be to around, like, say, because now I've got something going on with my eyes, some sort of light sensitivity or something that seems to be it's coming in and out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so rather than doing a sigil saying that's in this situation for perfect eyesight, of 20/20 vision and all this type of thing, go for improved eyesight, less sun sensitivity in my eyes, and then go from there. That's kind of, you probably could in that example go for, a more, because it's not a huge jump. But if you have been wearing glasses for 40 years, and they're getting exponentially thicker and thicker and thicker, your eyesight's getting worse and worse, you're probably in a better place to go, well, I will go down a few grades, I'm not sure how glasses work, as a target, rather than my eyes are completely 100% healthy, 20/20 vision, I can see just like an eagle. So if you can chunk it down into smaller, manageable bits, it could be a case of that you just don't believe enough that you can win the million. If we believe that belief is the agency of magic, and it seems to be in the most part, but it's more complicated than that. There's a lot more things kind of interfering with us, or connected to us, or influencing us. It could be just that's the case, that you come from a kind of, say, in our $1 million lottery win, a poverty mindset, and you don't really believe that you can win the lottery thing. Or if you want to come from the kind of reality transurfing element of it, is where you are in the quantum line of probability is so far away from the probability of $1 million that to jump from there to there is, it's a huge improbability. But you can jump from here to here, And that's, you know, so you can move towards your bigger goal in smaller steps rather than trying this kind of bigger massive jump from pauper to millionaire. So what I would suggest to you is to look at your goals, look at what you're trying to achieve, and see if it's a bit too pie in the sky or it's a bit too far. Is it too much of a jump? For a millionaire to manifest another $1 million is quite easy because it's not that big of a deal. But for someone with no money to manifest $1 million is probably a big deal. And even from a very mundane sense, you wouldn't set up a business with immediately going, I'm going to earn $1 million on day one. You know, you'd set it up in a different way, and over time you would eventually get to your, you know, your plan, your business plan, your battle goals, all of these things. So look at what you're trying to achieve and see if you can break them down into smaller, more manageable goals. Even like 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. If you've like a diet goal, then rather than going to your target, you know, your final target number that you want, you know, aim a bit somewhere between it and then somewhere between it again. Because I mean, these are, as Gordon White points out, this is all free. We can do this whenever we want. So why not do more of them rather than I am my perfect weight sigil and then 6 months later you're not your perfect weight. But at least if you had a sigil for, you know, I've lost 5 pounds and then another one for I've lost 10 pounds or whatever it is, you're getting a more kind of chunked down, less greedy, if you want. It's not the best word, but it's you can understand why I use it, approach to magic. So don't dismiss the fact that you can become King of the Moon if you want, but kind of align yourself closer and closer and closer to that bigger goal by using smaller, chunked down, less greedy magic. Less kind of instant, I want it all now. You know, I want it now. All that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory stuff. Don't do that. Do small things. Anyway, I've started singing, so that's definitely a cue for me to finish this video. So good people of the internet, until our next adventure, be well, do great magic, have a wonderful day, enjoy the sun, even if your eyes are becoming a bit sensitive to the sun. Perhaps there is a shift, just like there's a shift in the Schumann resonance at the minute, perhaps there's a change in how the sun or light is manifesting in this new world. Anyway, good people of the internet, until our next adventure, be well, and may our best days be ahead.